Wei Ying had crossed many strange boundaries in his life. Death, resurrection, worlds that bent and twisted beneath the weight of resentment and fate. Still, this place felt different. The air here was clean, almost painfully so, like a sky that had never known bloodshed. Mountains rose gently instead of threateningly. The spiritual energy flowed without a trace of malice, without any hint of rot. Wei Ying stood at the edge of a bamboo forest, his flute, chenching, resting against his shoulder, and felt an unexpected tightness in his chest. He muttered to himself, "This world? It doesn't hate me." That realization should have been comforting. Instead, it just hurt. He heard raised voices before he saw them. It wasn't shouting, not really, but the kind of quiet, simmering anger that cuts deeper than any scream ever could. Two figures stood facing each other on a stone path. The first, Shen Qingku, had his back ramrod straight, rigid with a restraint that Wei Ying recognized all too well. His expression was carefully composed, a mask hiding a storm. The other, Luo Binghe, stood opposite him, fists clenched at his sides, his dark eyes filled with a hurt he was desperately trying to hide. Wei Ying stopped walking. Oh, he knew this scene. He knew this posture, this aching distance, this crushing silence. He had lived inside it once, for what felt like an eternity. Luo Bing's voice was low, shaking despite his best effort to keep it steady. "You don't trust me," he said. "No matter what I do, you're always waiting for me to become a monster." Shen Qingkui's jaw tightened. "That's not true. Then why do you keep pushing me away?" The question lingered in the still air, heavy and unanswered. Wei Ying felt something twist inside him. He had asked that same question once, whispered into the wind and the darkness. And he had never received an answer. He stayed hidden in the shadows of the bamboo, watching. Finally Shen Qingku spoke, his voice strained. "I'm trying to protect you." Luo Binghe let out a laugh, but it was a broken, hollow sound. "From what? From yourself or from me?" Silence again. The kind of silence that said everything words couldn't fix. Luo Binghe took a step back, a small movement that felt like a chasm opening between them. "I loved you when you were cruel to me. I loved you when you were kind. I loved you when you didn't believe in me." His voice cracked on the last words. "But I can't keep loving you alone." He turned and walked away, his shoulders slumped. Shen Qingku didn't move. He didn't follow. Wei Ying exhaled slowly, a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. He whispered to the rustling leaves. "Yeah, that's how it starts." Later, Wei Ying found Shen Qingku sitting alone near a pond. His elegant sleeves were damp, and his gaze was unfocused, lost somewhere in the ripples on the water. Wei Ying approached him with light footsteps. "You know," he said, his tone deliberately casual, "if you keep staring at them like that, the fish might think you're planning something dangerous." Shen Qingku startled, his composure cracking for a moment before he sighed, weary. "Who are you?" "Just a passing troublemaker," Wei Ying replied, offering a gentle smile. "And I happen to be very good at recognizing regret." That earned him a sharp, suspicious look. Wei Ying crouched beside him, his smile softening. "You love him," he stated, not as a question. Shen Qingku didn't deny it. His silence was an admission. Wei Ying continued, his voice quieter now, more intimate. "And you're afraid if you say it wrong, you'll lose him forever." The way Shen Qingku's shoulders tensed confirmed it. Wei Ying looked up at the unfamiliar sky, which felt so heartbreakingly similar to his own. "I once loved someone so much I thought silence would keep him safe," he confessed, his voice distant. "Turns out silence just teaches people they're alone." Shen Qingku's fingers tightened in the fabric of his fine robes, his knuckles turning white. It was as if Wei Ying's words had unlocked something. Memories, not his own, began to bleed into the present, playing out in fractured echoes around them. He saw Luo Binghe kneeling in the pouring rain, eyes shining with absolute, unwavering devotion as he looked up at Shen Qingku. He saw a rare, unguarded smile on Shen Qingku's face, gentle and real as Luo Binghe leaned in hesitant, so hopeful, and pressed a soft, chaste kiss to his lips. He saw hands clutch desperately at sleeves in moments of crisis. Foreheads pressed together in shared intimacy. Promises whispered between ragged breaths in the dead of night. And then, the shift. The arguments. The coldness. Shen Qingku turning away, his back a wall of ice. Luo Binghe standing alone in the dark, the pure gold of his love slowly curdling into fear and doubt. Wei Ying swallowed hard against the lump in his throat. It was all too familiar. Night fell, blanketing the sect in a soft, quiet darkness. Wei Ying found Luo Binghe at the edge of the grounds, standing rigid and alone beneath the dim glow of a paper lantern. "He's scared," Wei Ying said simply, breaking the silence. Luo Binghe didn't turn. "So am I." Wei Ying stepped closer, his own shadow merging with the young man's. "Then stop pretending fear means love ends." Luo Bing's voice dropped to a near whisper. "What if I'm not enough?" The question hit Wei Ying with the force of a physical blow. He thought of Lan Zhen, of 13 years of silence, of all the things he had never said, all the reassurances he'd never given. "You already are," he said, his voice firm with a conviction born from his own painful regrets. The tragedy would be never letting him tell you that. As if summoned by his words, footsteps approached. Shen Qingqiu stopped a few paces away, his figure silhouetted against the night. The two of them stood there, separated by a few feet of space that felt like miles. "I was wrong," Shen Qingqiu said quietly, the words hanging in the air. Luo Binghe finally turned, his expression a mix of disbelief and agonizing hope. "I thought distance would protect us," Shen Qingqiu continued, his voice shaking just slightly. "But it only taught you that I was willing to lose you." A shudder ran through Luo Bing's frame. "I don't want protection," he whispered, his voice raw with emotion. "I want you." In that moment, the distance between them vanished. Shen Qingqiu closed the gap, his hands trembling as they rose to cup Luo Bing's face. The gesture was reverent, terrified, and so incredibly real. "I love you," he said, the words finally breaking free. "I always have." The kiss that followed wasn't desperate or frantic. It was aching. It was slow, unsteady, and filled with all the words that had waited far too long to be spoken. It was forgiveness and a promise all at once. Luo Binghe kissed him back like someone clinging to a miracle, afraid the moment would disappear if he blinked. Wei Ying turned away quietly, a small bittersweet smile on his lips. He gave them their privacy. Some reunions were sacred. As the first hints of dawn began to paint the sky, Wei Ying felt the pull, that familiar, disorienting tug of worlds correcting themselves. His time here was ending. He looked over and saw the couple sitting together beneath the trees. Their fingers were intertwined, their foreheads touching as they spoke in low, soft voices. Their love was repaired, but it bore scars. It was beautiful, it was fragile, it was real. Wei Ying smiled, a soft and slightly sad expression. He murmured to no one in particular, "Don't wait too long. Some of us don't get second chances." As the world around him blurred and dissolved into light, Wei Ying thought of Lan Zhen. He thought of regret, of missed opportunities, and of words finally, bravely spoken after a lifetime of silence. And he hoped fiercely, with all his heart, that love, once it was brave enough to speak its name, could survive anything. Thanks for watching.